Hey, I'm Matt Pinfield. Welcome to another edition of 120 Minutes. Tonight we'll have new music from Underworld, Faithless, Tonic, Chavez, Fountains of Wayne, and Silverchair. We also have a cult classic from Madness and a look at the awesome performance of Mountain Song that Porno for Pyros turned in at the Howard Stern Private Parts premiere party with Flea and Dave Navarro intact. And that's not all. Blur will be stopping by to talk to us about their latest record.
Her shadow is always with her. Her shadow could always keep her small, so frightened that he won't love her. She built up a wall. Oh no, she knows where to hide in the dark. Oh no, she's nowhere to hide in the dark. Brighter than all this static. Now she's coming through. Oh no, she knows where to hide in the dark. Oh no, she's nowhere to hide in the dark. She's a
From Whiplash, that was James with She's a Star. Blur will be here in a few minutes to tell us what they've been up to, but first we have a brand new video from Silverchair. While the band openly admits its debut record was heavily influenced by Pearl Jam and the whole Seattle scene, they say their latest freak show bars more from harder edge bands like Helmet, who they've also loved for quite a long time. In fact, Helmet have a new album out called Aftertaste that is really amazing. You should go and check out. I think it's their best yet. They like Helmet so much, we're talking about Silverchair, of course, that when it came time to take a band on the road with them, they chose label mates Handsome, who actually feature ex-Helmet guitarist Peter Mengade, or Menengade. People pronounce it a few different ways, but you know, he was the original guitarist in Helmet. Brand new from Silverchair, though, right now. It's a very aggressive track. Here's the debut of Freak on 120 Minutes.
Musically, Freak is going more towards the harder kind of sound, but we wanted to like kind of make heavy songs still with melody and stuff, just so it didn't totally go total metal.
Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield, and I am here with Blur, as promised, with Damon, Alex, Graham, and Dave. And they have a new album out. It's their 5th album. It's self-titled. It's good to see you, by the way, again. Passed a lot of times in the histories of the band. Actually saw you first couple gigs here in America when Leisure came out. We saw a little bit of There's No Other Way, by the way, before. Now, your 5th album out, and I'd read where you had said you decided that you wanted to go in a new direction from personal need, and you also felt that your fans wouldn't want you to keep redoing the same record.
Yeah, I don't think you decide. You can't really decide what record you make. We
had some ground rules, really, I think, and then that was it. We just went in the studio.
It's just basically no strings or brass, you know.
Right. And it was stripped down. I mean, it was pretty much like with the ideas that you'd written the songs with, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's still there are other instruments on there, but far less than on the previous album, which was kind of very extravagant with its arrangements.
Right. You felt like you were starting with that on Park Life, using
yeah, and we kind of took it to its, its conclusion with us. I don't think we'd been more comfortable with taking it any further. Otherwise, we might have turned into Tony Bennett or something.
Right. I see what you mean.
Nothing wrong with Tony Bennett.
Nothing. He's cool.
What I mean?
She's got the lily white cavity crazes. She's got a carburetor tied to the moon. Pink eyes looking to the fruit of the ages. She's alone in the new pollution. She's alone in the new pollution. She's got a hand on the wheel of pain. Talk to the mangling strangers. She could sleep in a fiery ball, throwing truffles through the dying embers. She's alone in the new pollution. She's alone in the new pollution. She's alone in the new pollution. She's got a paradise camouflage, like a whip crack sending me shivers. She's a boat in a strip mine ocean, riding low with the drunken rivers. She's alone in the new pollution. She's alone in the new pollution. ba-da-da, 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 doo-doo. Tech magnet. 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 Yeah.
From life in general, that was MXPX with Chick Magnet, and they're on Tooth and Nail Records. And if you pick up the latest issue of Alternative Press with Offspring on the cover, it comes with a cool Tooth and Nail catalog, so you can see what else the label has to offer. I'm still here with my special guests, Blur.
Rock and roll!
That's right, Alex. Absolutely. Now, okay, now.
It was up late.
I know, I understand. Yeah.
I'm having a lovely time in New York.
Are you enjoying yourself? It wouldn't be the first time you've enjoyed yourself in New York in the States, Alex. No question about it.
I do like to come here occasionally and enjoy myself.
There you go. Now, speaking of places that you enjoy yourself, you went over into Reykjavik, Iceland, to do some work on the record. You actually did some vocals and other stuff there. What brought you
Stayed there, basically.
and had a good time?
Yeah.
We were talking about these hot springs there, the Blue Lagoon, where I was, you know, it's a comfortable sulfur bath, but something like I could cook.
You can't really describe it adequately, you know, you have to experience it really. Because you know, you've been there and it's got that mad factory on the side of it that looks like it's on Mars. I mean, it does feel like you're on the moon, doesn't it?
It does feel like you're definitely on Mars or on another planet. It's weird. It's snowing on your head, but your body is like an 80-degree sulfur water. It's a very, very therapeutic scene. But no, I'm sure that was one of the original attractions there too. But did you find that it was a good place for you to write or record because it was a little isolated?
The studio is you know, the bay.
Yeah.
It's right there, so you just open the door and you just see the mountain and the sea, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good thing for you. Now you, now Great Divide seemed like a bit of a continuation of what you were doing with Park Life, kind of taking it a little further. You know, like a good focus on, in a lot of ways, you know, a celebration of English life at the time. Because I mean, you know,
it wasn't really a celebration. It was more a sort of a dig at.
Yeah.
I mean, those 3 albums, Modern Life to Great Escape, were pretty, you know, sarky, really.
Yeah, sarcastic and you know, the whole deal.
So, I mean, well, I've gone the wrong way around. But that was kind of a sort of thing which I think got really misunderstood, is that it you know, the whole Britpop thing just turned into a sort of banal celebration of Britishness, and it didn't start out like that, not for us anyway. It was kind of, you know, we were quite angry in some ways.
Absolutely. We're going to come back and talk about that anger too. We'll be back with Blur in just a bit. In the meantime, here are the top 10 singles on alternative music this week, so check them out.
MTV's 10 Spot is like a love song. It's passionate, it's sexy, and it's got a lot of cheesy parts to it. First, lay down some road rules for a locomotion thing. A little Daria will add some bite. Now throw in MTV Sports, total freestyle. Bring it on home with Jenny McCarthy. Stay in tune, stay in love. Tune in each night at 10 to MTV's 10 Spot. Who knew television could sound this good?
Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield. I'm here with Blur. You just saw a little bit of Chemical World from Modern Life is Rubbish. And we were talking a bit about the fact that it was more of a, as opposed to a celebration, it was more sarcasm, a little anger towards just attitudes. And in the past, I mean, bands like the Kinks, obviously, you know, Village Green, there were many albums where, you know, they'd have the same kind of sarcasm. And, you know, even some Who and The Jam as well. Things like All My Cons and parts of that. Like Setting Suns, those are great records. And there's things that Paul Weller, Ray Davies in the past, and even Townsend had poked fun at. And you're a big fan. I know Waterloo Sunset you've listed as one of your favorite songs.
Yeah. I think it's been pipped to the post now by Willie Nelson. You're always on my mind.
Yeah.
That's kind of... Well, Elvis singing it, but he wrote it.
Yeah. Now let's
That's my #1 song now.
Yeah, now Park Life became a big record for the band, obviously. It was on the charts for a good 2.5, 3 years.
Still there, actually.
It's still there,
It's
isn't
gone
it?
back. Yeah.
Now, when Great Escape came out, and it did well, but it was the kind of situation where Park Life was still really dominating. How was that? Did you see that as a kind of situation? Did you feel that the fans in Britain were a little bit fickle at that point?
Well, it actually sold quite a bit more than Park Life.
Oh, it really did?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's the same for bands in America that have a really huge album. It very rarely is followed up by another, or maybe the one after it is kind of nearly as big, but the one after that is sort of, I don't know. It's just, it's not really healthy to sell too many records.
Right.
I know it's a weird thing, but I mean, when it gets to that level, it's not really. It's gone over your kind of music fans and gone to a different sort of level where people just buy it because everybody else has bought it. As
opposed to people that really are like delving into your lyrics, the music, understand what the band's
I
about.
don't mind that at all, but they only tend to buy one record of one band, and then
right.
They're the sort of people that have 6 records in there.
Right, exactly. They buy 2 a year, and it's like the big.
Exactly.
It's like whatever
and
the
it's
two
like
big.
Bon Jovi and Blur, or 1 year and
the next year it's whatever.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, as opposed to the passionate music fans. Don't go away. We still have much more to talk about with Blur.
I'll be on my way. Box of balloons with a featherlight touch. Pack of party poppers that pop in the night. I took a bunch of hairspray, plastic wings, play on the corners as just walked in. Welcome to the house of fun. Now I've come of age. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the lion's den. Temptation's on his way. Welcome to the house of fun. No, miss, you misunderstood. 16 big boy, full fight in my manhood. I'm up to date on a base 2 days, hoping you'll serve, I'll be on my way. Welcome to the house of fun, now I've come of age. Welcome to the lion's den, temptation's on his way. Welcome to the house of fun. Sorry son, but we don't stop. Party gimmicks in this shop. Try the house of fun, it's quicker if you run. This is a chemist, not a jungle shop. Party heads, simple enough clear. Comprehend this and be understand, do you hear? A pack of party heads with the colour tips. Too late, Google's her gossip. Well, hello Joe, hello Miss Clay, many happy returns from the day. Welcome to the house of fun, now I've come of age. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the lion's den, temptation's on his way. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the house of fun, now I've come of age. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the lion's den, temptation's on his way. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the house of fun, now I've come of age. Welcome to the house of fun.
Hi, I'm Matt Pinfield, and I'm here once again with the guys from Blur. Now, we talked in the past quite a few times about songwriters that we've liked over the years. Now, when To the End came out, I thought a lot about Jacques Brel, who, of course, Scott Walker, become famous in England for doing covers of his music. Bowie had done a couple things like My Death and Amsterdam.
Yeah, he didn't do very good covers, I don't think.
But you like the Scott Walker versions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Now, there's a certain beauty and darkness to Jacques Brel's songwriting.
He's one of my favourite songwriters. I listen to it a lot, his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you've considered him a big influence on something like To the End?
Yeah, definitely.
Or other songs in particular?
Yeah. It was more sort of James Bond, really.
Really? Just the sound, the production, you mean?
I just had James Bond in my head.
Do you know there's actually compilations out now of like espionage movie and TV themes?
I've got loads of that stuff.
The thriller,
I like all the
thing?
Russell Meyer stuff as well.
Yeah, Russell Meyer's stuff is excellent.
I like the covers, especially.
A lot of like
the records.
Mudhoney, Faster Pussycat Kill, Super Vixens, right? All that.
Yeah.
And so Jacques Brel was one, and obviously Ray Davies, which we talked about before, because you've done, I Go to Sleep, piano a couple times and worked on that. Now, and Phil Daniels, of course, you had employed on Park Life.
Yeah, he's basically responsible for what happened in Britain with Britpop, I think, because he was such a kind of sort of an icon to sort of people who like football and were into a different thing other than music because of the films he'd made. And so when the two came together, it like...
Besides Quadrophenia, what else was he in it?
Scum.
Right.
It was a really cult film about Bosstones.
Okay.
Borstal, yeah, word Borstal here?
Yeah, Borstal breakout. No, I know what you mean. No, Borstals, yeah. No, you knew. And so that was the thing. I know he's not even, it's funny, I asked him once if he was a fan of like The Who and mod music and things from that period, and he said, not really, I like jazz. So he wasn't even really into the music, which...
Sounds like exactly the kind of thing you'd say.
Right, But I thought you did a great duet together. It became kind of an anthem over there.
Yeah.
In Britain.
Yeah. But you have to move on. When you create something that's that sort of popular, in a sense, that it really becomes part of the culture, you have to be careful, because it can sink you.
And come back and bite you back on the ass.
But it's been good to us, really, that song. I think because it was quite odd in the first place, the words.
Yeah.
That it manages to not, be an albatross.
All right, which is good. Come back for more with Blur, including their video for Song 2 right here on 120 Minutes. We'll see you in a little bit.
Because I could be nothing at all. Because I should be nothing at all. I wish I could be nothing at all. I wish I could be nothing at all.
Back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield. I'm still here with Damon, Graham, Dave, and Alex from Blur. And the new album, like you said, it's got a great feel to it. Like you're having fun when you're doing. I mean, there's a playfulness, there's a sense of humor in all the records you've done. You seem like you had more fun recording this album than anything. I mean, from MOR to Death of the Party. I mean, there's so many songs that are cool, and it goes in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, we didn't really. It was really relaxed. We recorded most of it in London and Primrose Hill, which is a really lovely part. It was summer, and it's just this big hill that you can see the whole of London from at the top. And it was just really laid back.
Now, people are saying that I've actually seen an article where Pavement are saying that they've been listening to you, and you were listening to Pavement, and things like the Pixies. And do you feel that those bands were actually an influence too in some of the directions?
A massive influence, and I mean, they were huge in Britain.
Right.
I think they predated everyone really in that sort of.
Yeah.
They started alternative rock, really, if you know what I mean.
One of the few bands that we can actually all agree to like, I think.
All four of you really love the Pixies as an influence. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And you've toured. What are your tour plans in America? I know you just recently did the Supper Club about a week ago, but
yeah, we're just kind of doing a small tour now, and then we're sort of see how it goes, and maybe come back and do something slightly different.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it. I'll tell you, the show was really cool last night. A lot of energy.
Yeah, the whole tour's been really nice atmosphere, sort of really packed and sweaty, and just a really good vibe.
Yeah, good vibe, good audience, and to people from different musical backgrounds too, like guys from the Beastie Boys or like Civ and Quicksand, like different bands, people from all different styles of music coming out and checking out the band and actually tell we're into the band as opposed to just seeing what was going on, seeing what it's all about, you know.
God
Well,
bless.
I think people sort of trust us because we've been around for so long, you know. It's like, you know, they must be all right because they've been around that long.
Yeah, right, 5 albums deep, including the Japanese live one, right?
Yeah.
Which is the import. I want to thank you for coming by anyway. It was great to have you, and good to finally have you on the show after seeing you and hanging out so many times in the past.
Cheers, mate.
Good one, right? Make sure to pick up Blur's new self-titled record, and if you don't have their past albums, Leisure, Modern Life is Rubbish, Park Life, and The Great Escape are out there. And the import, Double Live from Japan, is also cool. Before Blur leave us, we're going to give you one more reason to buy their latest release. Here's Song 2, the new video. Check it out on 120.
It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need you. Got my head down when I was young. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need you.
And we've just entered the second 60 of 120 minutes. This hour we have new videos from Underworld, Faithless, Tonic, and Chavez. But first we have something a little special. Everyone knew that Dave Navarro and Flea would be joining Porno for Pyros on stage at Howard Stern's Private Parts premiere party to perform Hard Charger from that film's soundtrack. What no one knew was that after turning in an awesome version of Hard Charger, they would launch into a Jane's Addiction classic mountain song, although Perry on the side told me he was planning on doing it and not telling anyone. Apparently the band had so much fun playing as we all did watching, because the next night at the Porno show at New York City's Roseland, Dave Navarro joined them on stage to close the show with I Would For You and Mountain Song once again. A few months back, Porno for Pyros were my guests here on 120, and here's what they had to say when I pressed them about the possibility of a full-fledged Jane's reunion.
Hey, if I'm hanging out and Eric and Dave are right there and they say, you guys want to play one, what would you say?
Oh, I'd be glad to join in, but I don't know if we're ever gonna plan on a reunion.
Right.
Oh yeah, like nobody's got, you know.
No, any plans right now.
It's not on the blackboard.
But never say
in
never,
the garage.
Right?
Yeah, anything can happen.
Hey!
Up next, we have New York City's Chavez. This video comes from the band's second full-length record, Ride the Fader, on Matador, and it gives us an insightful insider's look at the band's recent world tour and the hordes of press and screaming fans that follow their every move. Comprised of ex-members of Bullet LaVolta, Skunk, and Live Skull. Remember Bullet LaVolta's great cover of Detroit Rock City? Here is Chavez with Unreal Is Here on 120 Minutes.
You know, we've all played in bands that did between nothing and did okay.
And less than nothing.
And less than nothing. And so it was pretty clear that, like, from the beginning we didn't want to do it because of, like, trying to make money, because every person that tries to make money playing music is an idiot.
Your unreal is here.
Hi, my name's Moby, and you're watching 120 Minutes on MTV.
Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield. Up next is a new video from a band called Tonic. For their debut record, Lemon Parade, the band chose producer Jack Joseph Puig after reminding his work with Black Crowes, Jellyfish, just to name a couple of them. From Lemon Parade, here's Tonic with their second video of You Could Only See, new on 120 Minutes.
If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Well, you got your reasons, and you've got your lies, and you've got your manipulations. They cut me down to size. Say you love, but you don't. You give me love, but you won't. If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Seems the road less traveled shows happiness unraveled, and you gotta take a little dirt to keep what you love. That's what you gotta do. Saying you love, but you don't. You can love, but you won't. Stretching out your arms or something, just stop there. Saying you love the way you stand, your heart when you can. If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me.
Attention, stand by. We've got 7.
Okay, straighten up. People look alive. This is a race against time.
Okay, people, listen up. Let's get our lights up. Where are my bubbles? Bubbles! And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
For the serious strike. Now you make the scene all day, but tomorrow they'll be held to pay. In the afterlife, you'll be headed for the serious strike. Now you make the scene all day, but tomorrow they'll be held to pay. People listen attentively, I mean about future calamity. I used to think the idea was obsolete until I heard the old man stamping his feet. Where eternally fire is applied to the body. Teeth are extruded and bones are ground and baked into cakes which are passed around. In the afterlife, you could be headed for the serious strife. Now you make the scene all day, but tomorrow they'll be held to pay.
Stand up so high, you need a strength most don't possess. Or has it ever come down to do or die? You got to rise above the rest. never been tested. I'd like to think that if I was, I would pass. Look at the tested and think there before the grace go on. Might be a coward, I'm afraid of what I might find out. Never had to knock on wood, but I know someone who has, which makes me wonder if I could. It makes me wonder if I never had to knock on wood, and I'm glad I haven't yet, because I'm sure it isn't good. That's the impression that I get. Never had to put I better knock on wood, 'cause I know someone who has, which makes me wonder if I could. It makes me wonder if I never had to put I better knock on wood, 'cause I'm sure it isn't good, and I'm glad I haven't yet. That's the impression that I get.
From Let's Face It, that was the Mighty Mighty Bosstones with The Impression That I Get. The Bosstones will be my special guests in 2 weeks. From tonight, actually, right here on 120 Minutes. So make sure you catch that. And if you're a DIY kind of person, like to operate a little outside of the mainstream, of course you are, you're watching 120 Minutes, you're going to want to check out MTV's brand new music show called Indie Outing, covering everything from modern rock to hip-hop to European industrial hardcore and world beat. Indie Outing showcases the bands, artists, and labels that comprise the ever-growing independent music scene. Featured on this week's show are Atari Teenage Riot, really cool band on Grand Royal, and the German digital hardcore scene. Indie hip-hop dance label Nervous Records, videos from Mad Lion and Winx, and the early indie days of a band you've seen here on 120 known as Orbit. It all happens tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Indie Outing, so make sure you check that show out. We still have lots more left on 120 Minutes, including a debut video from Faithless, so don't go away.
This is Marilyn Manson. You're watching 120 Minutes.